Good morning, distinguished dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and participants. Welcome you all in the International Conference on MSMEs Embracing to Circular Economy, organized by Federation of Small and Medium Industries, West Bengal FOSMI, supported by Ministry of MSME, Government of India. We are honored to have you all with us today. Without further lapse of time, let's begin this journey by the lighting of the lamp ceremony. But before that, may I request all to put your mobile phone in silent mode. May I request all dignitaries, our esteemed guests and the speakers to join for the lighting of the lamp ceremony. Mr. Vishwanath Bhattacharya, President FOSMI, Mr. U. Sarup, IAS Director, Directorate of MSME, Government of West Bengal, Mr. P.K. Das, Joint Director, MSME DFO Kolkata, Ministry of MSME, Government of India, Professor Dr. Sadhan Kumar Ghosh, Mr. Vladimir Mariev, Mr. Janaka Warren Singhi, Mr. Pankaj Kumar Panjiar, Mr. Samantha Kumarasena, Mr. Hemant Sharma, Mr. Alok Mukherjee, Chairman FOSMI Advisory Board, and Mr. A.K. Sengupta, Secretary FOSMI.
কি হয়েছে গায়ে হাত দিচ্ছেন কেন? ঠিক আছে, আপনি কাজ করুন না, আপনি আটকাবেন না আমাকে। প্রেস চুপচাপ থাকুন, গভর্নমেন্টের, আপনি সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্টের ব্যাপার। স্যার, লিটল বিট রাউন্ড স্যার।
Thank you. May I request President FOSMI, Mr. Vishwanath Bhattacharya, to kindly be on the dais and take his seat. I now request our Chief Guest, Mr. U. Sarup, IAS Director, Directorate of MSME, Government of West Bengal, to kindly take his seat. I should inform that our guest of honor, Mr. D. Mitra, Director in charge and HOD, MSME DFO Kolkata, could not join us as he had to leave for outstation on urgent assignment. However, Mr. P.K. Das, Joint Director MSME DFO Kolkata, Minister of MSME, Government of India, has kindly consented to be the guest of honor, and I request Mr. P.K. Das to kindly take his seat. May I request Mr. Alok Mukherjee, Chairman FOSMI Advisory Board, to kindly be on the dais and take his seat. May I now request our session chair of today's conference, Professor Dr. Sadhan Kumar Ghosh, DG, SD and CE Research Center, International Society of Waste Management, formerly Dean, Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Jadavpur University, to kindly be on the dais. Lastly, may I request Mr. A.K. Sengupta, Secretary FOSMI, to kindly be on the dais and take his seat. Ladies and gentlemen, may I kindly request your attention as we stand together to honor our nation. Please rise for the national anthem, a symbol of unity and pride. Let us join in singing as we celebrate the spirit of our great country.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा
felicitate our distinguished dignitaries on the dais with bouquet of flowers and uttoriyos. May I request Mr. Vishwan Bhattacharya, our President, to present bouquet of flower and uttoriyo to our chief guest, Mr. U. Saruf. I request our President to present bouquet of flower and uttoriyo to our guest of honor, Mr. P.K. Das, Joint Director, MSME DFO, Kolkata, Ministry of MSME, Government of India. I request Mr. Naresh Goel, Council Member FOSMI, to present bouquet of flower to the Session Chair, Professor Dr. Sadhun Kumar Ghosh. I request President FOSMI to present bouquet of flower to Mr. Alok Mukherjee, Chairman FOSMI Advisory Board. We have immense pleasure that we have with us today Mr. Hemant Sharma from Ministry of MSME, Government of India, and I request Mr. Naresh Goel to present bouquet of flower and uttoriyo to Mr. Hemant Sharma. Thank you. May I now request our President, Mr. Vishwan Bhattacharya, for his welcome address.
Good morning. Mr. U. Sharup, IS, Director of MSME, Government of West Bengal. Mr. P.K. Das, Joint Director, MSME DFO, Kolkata. Mr. Alok Mukherjee, Chairman, FOSMI Advisory Board. Ms. Professor Sadhun Ghosh, Director General, Sustainable Development and Center, Circular Economy, ISW, MAW. Mr. Hemant Sharma, our esteemed guest from Ministry of MSME, Government of India, distinguished dignitaries, speakers, esteemed participants from industry, associations, MSME faculty, and ladies and gentlemen. I, on behalf of our Federation, extend heartiest welcome to all of you on today's International Conference on MSME, Embracing to Circular Economy, being conducted by FOSMI under the approval of Ministry of MSME, Government of India. At the outset, we express our deep gratitude to Ministry of MSME, Government of India for entrusting us the responsibility of holding today's international conference. As we move forward with the conference proceedings, I feel it is a privilege to introduce our Federation before our honorable guests and participants. Federation of Small and Medium Industries, West Bengal, Kolkata, popularly known as FOSMI, is the oldest federation of micro, small and medium enterprises, now known as MSMEs, and serving the sector over last 6 decades. We are a recognized federation of both central and state government and having our representation in various important committees and councils of both state and central government formed for the development of MSMEs. Our federation is actively involved in many productive activities to support the Indian MSMEs. FOSMI on many occasions have participated in international events, and recent past FOSMI was a part of Going Global collaborative project on circular economy on small and medium-sized enterprises conducted by Aston University, UK under the British Council collaboration. FOSMI is the one-stop solution for MSMEs, symbolizing crucial support and representation in this sector. Ladies and gentlemen, we all assembled today to address a crucial aspect of our economic landscape: micro, small and medium enterprise and their pivotal role in embracing circular economy. MSMEs form the backbone of our economy, contributing significantly to the employment and fostering innovation. However, as we navigate an era of environment challenges, it is imperative that we rethink our business models. The circular economy presents a sustainable solution emphasizing importance of reducing waste and minimizing resources efficiency. India aspires by 2025 to be $5 trillion economy that would generate business and new entrepreneurs. This would increase resources and energy consumption and waste generation. To achieve the largest target of a $5 trillion economy in tune with the Sustainable Development Principle, it is necessary to ensure low carbon footprint for climate change. Principles of circular economy will be the key driver to achieve this mission. Circular system emphasizes reuse, repair, refurbish, remanufacture and recycle, therefore minimizing wastes that reach landfills, reducing carbon emission and utilizing clean energy. MSME have the ability to embrace new developments such as circular economy. In the last 3 years, we withstand many businesses, particularly MSMEs, rapidly adopting innovative technologies and participated to remain relevant in competitive. MSMEs are increasingly embracing the principles of circular economy to drive sustainability and innovation in their business. As we honor the importance of MSMEs and the role they play in the economy, let us also recognize the challenges they face, particularly in accessing financing and technology. In building an enabling environment for MSMEs to thrive in a circular economy, government must put in place a long-term strategy and implement balanced actions that create strong economic incentives. These endeavors should be supported by good governance and close stakeholder engagement, investment in infrastructure and technology, as well as human resource development. Friends, I believe today's session, MSME Embracing to Circular Economy, would be very interesting and informative out of the shared knowledge and experience of our eminent speakers. The session will definitely help our participating units from MSME fraternity to understand the subject and how important is the concept of circular economy for sustainable development and growth. I wish every success of the conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your welcome address. May I request our chief guest, Mr. U. Sarup, IAS, Directorate of MSME, Government of West Bengal, and all the dignitaries on the dais to kindly uncover and release today's conference abstract. May I request all to kindly give a big round of applause on this momentous occasion, as this occasion would signify the essence of today's conference. Thank you. May I now request Mr. Alok Mukherjee, Chairman, FOSMI Advisory Board, to give his address to the August gathering.
A very good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. Although I'm, you can say, both in and out of FOSMI, but as advisory board chairman of FOSMI, I'm in close touch with it. So on my own behalf and on behalf of FOSMI, apart from what the president will welcome you, I welcome you all to this. Thank you for being here on a subject which should be extremely interesting, particularly for MSME, and I'll try to explain why. The circularity of economy has been, it's not a new concept, it's quite an old concept, but the point is that the implementation has not been so much there. All over the world, a lot of work has been done, but still there is much more to be done. For MSME, I think it is very, very little work has been done on circularity. Professor Sadam Ghosh is an authority on that. And we have worked also with another gentleman, Mr. Prashanto Dey. He works from a university in England, and he also worked with some members of MSME here to do something on circularity. Now, the circular economy is not a matter of fashion or style of the current vague or something like that. You know, this world has some resources. Our planet Earth has some resources. And we survive by taking the resources, whether it's food, whether it's metal, whether it's anything else, we take the resources. Now the population has been so much, and we have exploited these resources so with an abundant manner almost all over the years, that the earth will not be able to provide us with these resources anymore unless we take action. And one of the major action is circularity. Circularity, the name might appear new to some, but it's a question of basically recycling. You know, steel is a material which is probably recycled most. So unless, again, we will not get enough ore in this world to make steel out of it, unless we recycle. And today most of the steel plants will go to circularity by recycling more and more. And that will mean that we don't throw it away. We have brought a danger, disaster on us because of throwing away things. The less you throw away, the more you have chance of survival. And it's really a question of survival. Today we are not feeling it, but by the second half of this century, this will become a question of survival. And therefore, it is very much necessary that we get ourselves acquainted with this, how to do this. MSME is a major part of the industry in this country, in many countries. If you go to Germany, they are so proud of their Mittelstand. They call it Mittelstand, the small and medium-sized company. And they are so proud of them for their performance, for their technology, for how they are implementing it. And I am sure we can take our own MSMEs, like all of you here, to that stage when India as a nation can be very proud of them and can show it to the other nations as an example. So, another main thing that we must know in this connection, that we have to increase the resource efficiency. Resource is limited. What is the resource? Everything. Whether we eat, whether we make steel, whether we make coal, anything. You have to take it from the earth. Now, how much you are using of that resource, how much you are throwing it away or wasting, that is the main point. You see, if 5 kg of, say iron ore, make 2.5 kg of steel, it is not good enough. We have to make that 2.5 by technology, make that 2.5 into maybe 3.5 or 4. Only then mankind has a chance to survive. I will say even survive by the second half of the century, as I said. So this resource efficiency is one of the most important things, and one of the ways to achieve that very well is circularity of economy. So I want the small scale industries here to please remember that they are a major part of the economy of this country. And to remain as a major part, to contribute to the economy of this country as they have been doing, they have to adopt circularity. And I am sure that all the MSMEs here, they are aware of this. and with the help of organizations like FOSMI, organizations like Government of India has a lot of schemes for MSME. So with all these, I'm sure that we will be able to see much more prosperous, developed MSMEs in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind address. May I request Mr. Soumitra De, Council Member FOSMI, to present memento to Mr. Alok Mukherjee. Thank you, sir. May I request Mr. Hemant Sharma, Minister of MSME, Government of India, to briefly outline the MSME schemes. Sir, please come.
Respected all the dignitaries present on the dais, participating MSMEs and all others present here, a very warm good morning to all of you. I am Hemant Sharma, Section Officer, Ministry of MSME, looking after the International Cooperation Scheme. First of all, I would like to congratulate FOSMI for organizing this international conference, MSMEs Embracing to Circular Economy. Since this is being organized in partnership with Ministry of MSME, under the International Cooperation Scheme specifically, so I would give a very brief idea about what is this IC scheme all about. As you all know that Indian MSMEs are the backbone of the country. They have a substantial share in GDP, as well as increasingly they have a role and a higher percentage in exports too. So, however, we are not able to untap the export potential of MSMEs due to certain reasons, that is lack of awareness of the export market, correct export market, trade related information, as well as higher testing and quality charges. So in order to address these issues, Ministry of MSMEs has derived and revised the International Cooperation Scheme guidelines in 2021, and there are basically three aspects which have been covered in the new guidelines. First of all, the core aim, the core objective of our IC scheme is to capacity build MSMEs to enter in the export market. What we want is that more and more MSMEs should explore new markets and try to sell their products outside India and have a very good share in the exports too. For that reason, basically there are three interventions under the IC scheme. First of all, we are supporting MSMEs by participation in the international fairs and exhibitions outside India. Big fairs in various countries are organized, and we support through industry associations. MSMEs can go there, purchase stall, sell their products, do B2Bs and networking. By this way, we financially assist them by reimbursing the stall charges, the airfares, etc. to these MSMEs. This is one of the way in which we help MSMEs to enter the export market. Second is organizing this type of conferences, international conferences, just to make you aware how the ministry itself functions under the IC scheme. The second component was launched by our Honorable Prime Minister on 30th June 2022. That is a new component, and on the basis of inputs received from various stakeholders, we added this component. This is capacity building of first time micro and small exporters. In this, basically that whenever you export a product, there are certain charges you need to pay. Ministry, by the way of CBFT component, has tried to reimburse these charges which are paid on the export oriented costs. So here we pay RCMC charges, registration for membership fees, which is paid to export promotion councils. Ministry has signed MOUs with 20 export promotion councils for that, so that whenever you pay the RCMC charges, we shall reimburse that cost. Second is, you mandatorily required to have the export insurance premium. That export insurance premium paid to ECGC, Export Credit Guarantee Corporation, we reimburse that premium too. Third is the testing and quality charges. As I told you, it is very high, and many times, MSMEs are not able to export their product because the testing quality charges is very high. So we also reimburse that cost through NSIC, National Small Industries Corporation Limited. Now the third component is also very instrumental. The third component is intelligence market information dissemination. Under this component, ministry is trying to build a central knowledge repository containing information relating to tariff lines, to exports of each country, the HS codes, the sector-wise information of around 24 products which you export. So what do we want this? Every MSME should have an idea as to which product should they export, in which country, which should be a target country, which should be a target market. So all these informations, IMID, is being developed. It is under pipeline, and we are in consultation with our stakeholders, and this the name is basically GMIS, Global Market Intelligence System. So we are in a consultation with stakeholders, and once this portal is developed, each MSME can take benefit and access all information, major information relating to export tariff lines from this portal. So these are basically three components by which our ministry is supporting MSEs and MSMEs to export, to increase their export and capacity they build themselves. So now many MSMEs either present here must have known these components, must have known about IC scheme or not. But I would just request all of you to please visit our website ic.msme.gov.in, ministry's website. Just see the guidelines, see how can you avail these benefits, and please approach to us, because we are ready to welcome you with open arms. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mr. P.K. Das, Joint Director, MSME DFO, Kolkata, to address the August gathering. But before that, I request Mr. Saurabh Poddar to give memento to Mr. Hemant Sharma. Mr. Sadhan Kumar Ghosh, Professor Dr. Sadhan Kumar Ghosh will forward this technical session, so that I request Mr. P.K. Das for his kind address.
Good morning. Respected today's chief guest, Mr. U. Swarup, IAS, Director of MSME, Government of West Bengal, dignitaries on the dais, and dear participants. Today's national conference is special type conference that is called MSME Embracing to Circular Economy. It's a specific program from IC department, International Cooperation Scheme of Ministry of MSME. Before that, let me introduce our department, that is Office of DC MSME New Delhi, that is our head office at New Delhi, having under the Ministry of MSME, Government of India, having headquarters at all the state. In West Bengal, we got our headquarters at Kolkata. It has 4 branches. One is Dukapur, Siuri, Siliguri, and also Andaman is controlled by this office. Basic purpose of this office is to promote, handhold, and guide to MSME sector, and those who are coming for MSME sector to set up the MSME sector, or those who are doing business in MSME sector, how to promote them. In this line, I think what is MSME department, what is MSME sector doing, I can give you some light how MSME is doing in India and worldwide. Why we are talking about MSME sector? One critical section is that is critical contribution of MSME to broader social economic objectives, including job creation, makes them a key priorities area for achieving the sustainable development goals under UN protocol. It has given UN protocol, we should go for sustainable development goal. Job creation through MSME will often directly benefit the poor and vulnerable, particularly women and youth, thereby directly reducing poverty, increasing income, and positivity impacting on household investment in education and health over time. MSME development has the potential for wide and reaching impacts on SDG, that is Sustainable Development Goal, globally, including SDG 1, end poverty, SDG 2, zero hunger, SDG 3, good health and well-being, SDG 5, gender equality, SDG 8, promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth, employment and decent work, SDG 9, improve sustainable industrial and fostering innovation. So we can think about how sustainable development goal under UN, it has given so many areas to come up, and it has given the opportunity to MSME sector can tap this opportunity. Coming back to India, you know, micro, small, medium enterprises, that is called MSME, in India play a vital role in fostering economic growth and inclusivity in India. The terms MSME encompasses a spectrum of enterprises, is contributing significantly to economic industrial landscape. This sector, characterized by its diverse range of business, has become a cornerstone of economic development, driving innovation, generation employment, and empowering entrepreneurs across the nation. This guide explores the intricacies of MSMEs, shedding light on their meaningful form, distinctive features, importance, and the pivotal role they play in shaping India's economic landscape. Understanding MSME is essential for comprehending the dynamics and inclusive nature of India's business environment. Now we cover the COVID period, that is 2020, 21, 22. It's a very remarkable area. We cover that way and do resilience, how we cover up that way. It is a very much encouraging for us to look back how we cover up this COVID period, and now we are going to the 5 trillion economic scale. With this, moreover, their ability to quick pivotal operation during COVID pandemic showcased their adaptability and determination. I think you will be happy to note that now India gross domestic product during 2019-20, 2021-22, it is around 30% from MSME sector, and it has share of manufacturing output. Manufacturing output for MSME sector, it is around 36%. As per record, we got more than 6 crores of MSME unit, under which 96% is micro industries, of which employment as on August 2023, it is more than 12 crore. That means in each and every micro industry, you can find out there are average of 2% employed in that industry. In that way, Government of India coming up, today's session is called Circular, Embracing Circular Economy. I can tell you, recently we have Government of India changed one specific scheme, that is called MSME Champion Scheme. It has got 3 areas. One is innovative, MSME innovative scheme, another is sustainable scheme, and it is competitive scheme. Champion scheme is basically to elevate these MSME units to go from grassroots level to champions level. If Government of India is coming up with any sort of support system, means MSME unit holders, they are going to get at least 65% to 100% support system from Government of India to adapt that type of scheme to go up to champions level. I told you this is area of 3 areas: innovative scheme, competitive scheme, and sustainable scheme. That means what you are doing. Today we are talking about circular economy. That means whatever you are doing activities, that should not be what can I say? That should not come back to the industry for reshaping that. That way, one specific scheme is there that is called Z scheme, zero defect, zero effect. Whatever you are doing, that should be minimum impact to the environment. Scheme means Government of India giving you support to enhance your border level, lower level to the highest level, the champions level. That means your company should be as per world class standard. That is called sustainable scheme. If I go that way, Government of India has given a lot of support system for this MSME sector. For participants of this program, I can tell you specific 2-3 programs I can tell you. Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, launched in 2020, this initiative aims to make India self-reliant by promoting local manufacturing, supporting innovative and enhancing competitiveness. It includes measures such as access to credit, ease of doing business, and capacity building programs for MSME sector. Under this scheme, there are a lot of schemes over there. MSME sector can take up the benefit of this. Another scheme has come up that is called Digital India Campaign. The government's Digital India program promotes the adoption of digital technology by small business. Initiatives like digital payment platform, e-marketplaces, and digital skill development program have facilitated MSMEs transition into the digital economy. It is very encouraging. After COVID, you can see payment is being taken by Fuchkawala by digital mode. It's very encouraging. If I go to grocery shop, they are taking payment through digital mode. Whenever I used to go small shops, I used to take my phone only. No cash is required. Recently, Government of India announced if you go to France, you can pay by digital mode. That means MSME sector has come up in general, and in broader sense, it is coming out digital mode to pay the payments to the whatever required you can pay that way. Another area has reform, GST reforms. The introduction of goods and service tax has simplified the tax structure for MSMEs, reducing the compliances burden and promoting a more transparent business environment. It has streamlined supply chains and improved overall efficiency. So 3 areas, Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, digital campaign, and GST reforms has given the wings to the MSME sector in India. Those who are doing business, they can understand what is going on, and next stage they are going to get the benefit out of this. I can highlight some scheme that can be helpful for you, whatever announcement has been given. Rupees 5 lakh crore emergency credit line scheme for business including MSMEs has been announced. Rupees 50,000 crore equity infusion through MSME Self-Reliance India Fund. It has been infused for MSME sector. New revised criteria for classification of MSMEs. You know everybody that MSMEs classification has been changed. No global tender for procurement up to 200 crores. 200 crores for no outside tendering process. Launching of online portal champions in June 2020 to cover many aspects of e-governance including grievances redressal and handling of MSME sector. Champions portal is a area. Your grievances, your requirements, your thought process can be put up over there, and it can be sorted out very soon. Because all PSUs, all bankers, and all stakeholders are under this champions portal. Inclusion of retail and wholesale trades as MSME, it has been effective from 2nd July 2021. In MSME purview, it was only manufacturing and services. Now it is your retail and wholesale. Non-tax benefits extended for 3 years in case of upward change of status for MSME sector. rollout of raising and accelerating MSME performance, RAM program with outlay of 6,000 crores next 5 years. RAM scheme is there to accelerate the MSME sector. Another, I will closing it. Launching of Udyam assisted platform. It has been launched in 11th of June 2023 to bring the informal micro enterprises under the formal ambit of availing benefit under priority sector lending. With these few words, I think you can understand MSME has given the lots of emphasis from Government of India so that they can come up with champions for all class. How can go for that? That way Government of India is trying for that. With these few words, I thank FOSMI giving me opportunity to say few words on this august gathering. I thank you very much for your patience listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your kind address, sir. May I request our President, Mr. Vishwanath Bhattacharya, to present memento to the guest of honor, Mr. P.K. Das, for his gracious presence in the conference. May I now request our chief guest, Mr. U. Sarup, IAS, Directorate of MSME, Government of West Bengal, for his kind address.
Dignitaries in the dais, distinguished guests, entrepreneurs and industry captains. I first of all thank FOSMI to have organized this international session on circular economy. It is a very interesting upcoming concept, and I'm glad that Government of India is supporting you, which shows how robust FOSMI is. And a special thanks to Vishwanath Bhattacharya ji, not only in his role in FOSMI, but he's a very dear colleague of us in MSE Facilitation Council. If you have any issues of delayed payment, please do approach him, get hold of him. He'll promise you payment within 90 days. Such a pivotal role he's playing there. It's difficult for me to fathom so much time he's giving for conciliation and arbitration because he feels the pain. He knows how difficult it is when an MSME's a payment is stuck with a buyer. So please do approach him for any delayed payment issues. We are there to help you out on behalf of state government. And please get yourself registered in Udyam. I would request FOSMI to take up this. The Udyam Assist platform is there where you don't need a PAN card and all. That's for micro. Not for micro, but nano sector, but for FOSMI, for the stature of FOSMI, I think all of you should be Udyam registered, because all facilities you get from Government of India and from state government would be based on Udyam. So it is a very easy platform to get registered, and would request FOSMI to take up this in priority. And so coming to circular economy, the traditional idea of make and dispose, I think we have to focus on recycling and refurbishing. But the critical challenge is basically the economic viability, and how much the economic viability will help entrepreneurs to adopt these new practices. I'd seen the list of panelists. I think I should congratulate FOSMI to have brought all these people in one place. A lot of people are joining virtually also. I think it would be a good learning session, especially this topic on how to make industrial estates sustainable. I think our department will be very much interested, because we have around 52 industrial estates under us. So I would request FOSMI to give us a policy paper after this, stating that what are the key learnings, what do you expect from government. Basically government capacity building, we prefer to leave it to chambers and industry people. Government we would like to give incentives basically. That is what I think you are also interested in. If I do this, what incentive will I get? Recently we have in our Bangladeshi policy, Bangladeshi is our incentive scheme. I would request all of you to check our website on what are the scheme provisions. It has been made very simplified, and not only for new industries which come up, but existing industry. You want to purchase a new plant, or you want to purchase or you are taking a new loan, we are ready to give subsidy. So we have brought changes in 2022. So the new Bangladeshi scheme, it is very advantageous to you all. So I would request you to go through the scheme, and even if you are expanding, you can apply to us, and we give you, if you put your industries in a backward region, up to 75% of your plant and machinery will get reimbursed from us. So you can go through the scheme and connect with us, and FOSMI can even, I would request Vishwanath ji to give us the list of people whose incentives are pending. A lot of people would have applied, and their incentives would have been pending because COVID period till 2022 there were no incentives given. We had stopped it due to financial crunch. Now we have again started giving. So because this is a 5-year benefit, not only for the first year you get the benefit for, it's a continuous benefit for 5 years, right? Starting from stamp duty and stamp duty rebate and all that. What I would request FOSMI to do also is that for getting into a circular economy, there might be some cost involved. So just let us know if that cost can be reimbursed through incentive or through a subsidy. So end of it, what we need is some actionable thing from government. Probably there might be some compliances required for transforming into a circular economy. So some licenses required. So we can simplify it or we can eliminate. Probably a few provisions have to be eliminated. Few provisions which have to be decriminalized, or some provisions which have to be struck down. These provisions because you are the people who are doing business. We in government, nobody is involved in any business, so we don't have any idea of where are the pain points for business. Only when chambers and associations like you come and tell us that this is where the pain point is. I was telling Vishwanath ji, Bangladeshi program, Bangladeshi incentive scheme, we had allowed expansion of existing units. This idea was brought by FOSMI only. So only when you come and tell us where the problem lies, we would be able to help you. So once again I thank FOSMI for inviting me, and you have a very good panel discussion here. So without much ado, I congratulate you all, and I expect a policy paper or an outcome after this session which could be given to us, so that it would be a learning experience for us and we would do something actionable on it. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. May I request our President, Mr. Vishwanath Bhattacharya, to present memento to Mr. U. Sarup for his gracious presence in the occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, we have concluded our inaugural part of the conference. May I request our Secretary, Mr. A.K. Sengupta, to propose vote of thanks.
Good morning, distinguished dignitaries, esteemed speakers, participants from industry associations and from MSME fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. As we draw the curtains on the inaugural ceremony of the International Conference on MSMEs, Embracing to Circular Economy, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for gracing the inaugural ceremony of the conference. Your presence has enriched this event to making it a momentous occasion. It is indeed an honor to stand before you as we embark in this enlightening journey. I would express profound appreciations to our esteemed Chief Guest Mr. U. Sarup and Guest of Honor Mr. P.K. Das and Professor Sadhan Kumar Ghosh and Mr. Alok Mukherjee, our Chairman, FOSMI Members Board, whose presence has elevated the significance of this event. Your wisdom and insight have set the tone what promised to be a transformative conference. Once again, thank you all for being a part of this momentous occasion. Wishing everyone a successful and enriching conference. Thank you.
Thank you all. We will now have a short tea break for 10 minutes, and after that we will move forward towards technical plenary session 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now start our 2 technical plenary sessions. Honorable Professor Dr. Sadhun Kumar Ghosh is the session chair for the plenary sessions. I am pleased to introduce Professor Dr. Sadhun Kumar Ghosh. Professor Ghosh is the Director General, Sustainable Development and Circular Economy Research Center, ISW-MAW, and formerly the Dean, Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Jadavpur University. He was the Director of CVWE, Government of India. He is the pioneer and consultant in the field of circular economy adoption in industries including MSMEs, having experience of adopting CE in more than 100 MSMEs in India. He is a renowned personality in the field of waste management, circular economy, supply chain sustainability in industries, green manufacturing, supply chain management, sustainable development, co-processing of hazards and MSW, plastics and e-waste management and recycling, ISO standards and TQM, having collaboration in more than 30 countries. He serves Larsen & Toubro Limited and the Gramophone Company of India Limited. He is the international consultant of the United Nations Center for Regional Development, Asian Productivity Organization, Japan, China Productivity Council, Taiwan, the Institute for Global Environmental Strategies, Japan, and SSEEP, Sri Lanka. He wrote 260 research articles and 50 edited volumes of books. Received several awards. He is the editor-in-chief of the Journal of Solid Waste Technology and Management and associate editor of Journal of Material Cycles and Waste Management. May I invite our speakers, Mr. Vladimir Mariev and Mr. Pankaj Kumar Panjiar, to join the technical plenary session 1. May I request Mr. D.K. Mohta, past President, FOSMI, to give Uttorio and flowers to Mr. Vladimir Mariev. May I request Mr. S.K. Kedia, Vice President FOSMI, to present flower and Uttorio to Mr. Pankaj Kumar Panjiar. Thank you, sir. I now request Professor Ghosh to give his introductory remarks and start the session.
Very good morning. It's my real pleasure that we are holding a full day program on circular economy and how to adopt circular economy in MSME. I am really pleased because we involved FOSMI in several activities for last maybe more than 1 decade. I am working with FOSMI from 2002 or 3, if I am correct. And FOSMI is very positive with respect to the adoption of new things. We had a number of projects which were funded by Royal Society of Engineering UK, British Council UK, and Erasmus Plus, and each of the project was participated by FOSMI members and some of the units. The last one, the Going Global project, the collaborative project between industry and academia, which is funded by British Council, one FOSMI unit holder visited UK to learn what is happening in the UK industries in last year possibly. And I thank the President, Mr. Vishwanath Bhattacharya, and the team in FOSMI for their very, very positive attitude towards any improvement. And for that, I request all of you to give a big clap to Mr. Bhattacharya and the team in FOSMI. What is circular economy? I request all of you to please take your seat and don't disturb, please. Please take your seat. Circular economy, what is it? If you think that circular economy is only recycling of the material, you are wrong. Circular economy adoption in any industry, I mean, there is no difference between MSME or big industries with respect to the implementation of circular economy. But most importantly, whenever you think of implementation of circular economy, initially you can take care of the recycling, but you have to be matured with the paradigm shift in the conceptual design to the disposal. That is circular economy. And I have given some of the points in this booklet, the beautifully designed booklet, some of the salient features which you can try to adopt in your organization, which will lead to the circular economy. The project which I was referring, Going Global, I have worked with 50 SMEs throughout India. Tirupati, the industrial park, Vizag, Kolkata, Mumbai and Delhi. Some assorted 5-6 SMEs over there. The experience is very nice for me. And the industries who were involved in this for nearly 1 year, they were really enchanted. And they came out with a very significant amount of outcome by the implementation of circular economy. You know, I'll give you some of the salient points of implementation of circular economy. What is your benefit? India could reach 45 billion US dollar by 2030 if circular economy can be implemented effectively. Adopting circular economy, India may save 624 billion of USD by 2050 across food sector, agriculture, construction, mobility, fashion, rare earth element and manufacturing. These are the most promising area for implementation of circular economy. What you will get from circular economy? You will get the resource efficiency in your organization. What is resource efficiency? The resources, the raw material, the energy, the water, whichever you are utilizing, you will get more return on the investment of those raw materials. You will have a reverse logistics system, and the whole system should be a closed loop system. And those thinking that circular economy is not for MSME, you change your mindset. Rather, you think that I have to do something by adopting circular economy. It is easy, it is very much possible, and you will get the benefit out of it. And some of the friends here, they have already started adopting circular economy. You can talk to them, what benefit they have achieved. I am sure
that there are a lot of benefits which you will achieve if you do circular economy implementation in your unit. But the first thing, what you have to do, you have to understand what is circular economy. You have to understand how the circular economy concepts can be implemented into your process. Don't worry whether you can adapt circular economy throughout all the processes. Not necessary. You start with one and then progress one by one. And you know that one very important thing, all MSME, you waste lot of material. The process waste, many of you don't consider that this is a resource. The rejected material, many of you don't consider that this can be recycled or this can be reused or this can be taken into the logistics, reverse logistics. So please, take care of each of the paisa which you are investing in your raw material, which you are investing in your resources like electricity, machine time, manpower, water, and so many other things. And you start calculating from day onwards when you start your circular economy implementation. I am quite sure at the end of 6 to 7 months time, because it needs some gestation period, you will definitely get some positive sign which will help you in adapting more and more circular economy in the system. You know that Government of India since 2014, number of initiatives which has taken by, like from 2016, 6 rules related to waste management. Waste management doesn't mean only the municipal waste. Waste management means waste at your factory. We have revamped and we have had a new rule in 2016. Plastic waste, e-waste, industrial waste, solid waste, and many other things. E-waste, what we are doing? We have EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility. The manufacturer who is creating pollution, he is responsible for that. Very recently, last week in Washington, what they have done, if you purchase any bottle, after you use that bottle, you come with that bottle in any of the shops, you give it that this is my bottle, you take it. And in India, it will be coming very soon. So there must be always some benefit, monetary benefit in circular economy. Otherwise, why should I? I have a responsibility of protecting environment, establishing sustainable development, but more importantly, you have to also look into what is my benefit, what is the benefit of the society. And I'll not take much time, only one thing. Kindly think of reducing the consumption and change the consumption pattern personally in your factory and also the production. If you have 5 sub-processes in a production process, reduce it to 3. You will see that there are leakages which taking place in your factory without knowing. You don't know, but your leakages are taking place. So as a matter of fact, do you think that circular economy is necessary for all of you? Yes or no? Yes. Excellent. In my word, circular economy is the way of life today. You cannot avoid this. Like the breakfast, you cannot avoid the breakfast for a long time. Maybe one day, maybe 2 days. And after third, you will feel hungry that I need breakfast. The similar thing, circular economy, throughout the world. And today, I request all of you, because you know that we are spending the whole day, and my friends from different countries have come in physical mode, and also in the post-lunch, there will be number of friends from different countries who have implemented circular economy will be online. I'm quite sure you'll get benefit out of it. But today, I'll request all of you to take an oath for the implementation of circular economy. I do it in most of my programs. So, if you all agree, I request all of you to please stand up. This is your commitment from today. And let us take an oath, please. And what I'll read, please spell it. Today, on the 9th February 2024, I hereby taking an oath that I will try to understand the circular economy that will help my organization to implement circular economy wherever is possible, to increase resource efficiency and to make sustainable development in the industrial sector, taking the environmental protection. Thank you very much. So please keep this in mind that you have taken an oath on the day of this program, and don't forget it. Make your people aware and start circular economy. I am here in Kolkata. If you need any help, you are at liberty to call me or contact me. Thank you very much. So now we will come to the technical session. I request our important lady to introduce the next speaker, Mr. Vladimir Marek, please.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Vladimir Mariev is the Deputy Head, Department of Innovative Materials of the Federal Road Institute, Russian Federation, Moscow, and the Director of the Association of the Development of the Waste Processing Industry and the Use of Secondary Raw Materials. He worked as an active member of the Working Group on Circular Economy Projects formed in 8th ICON SWM 2018 International Conference with experts from 25 countries in Guntur, India by ISW MAW. Having 20 years practical experience in the field of industrial and household waste management, comprising of 12 years of international activity in environmental management and circular economy projects implementation, he has also worked for governmental agencies at the regional and federal levels on development of state environmental policy, waste management and implementation of environmental projects, and closely working with UNCRD, UNIDO, UNDESA, the Ministry of Environmental Japan and the relevant ministries of ecology of other countries.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, thank you so much for your invitation to take part in this international conference. And special thanks to my friend, Professor Ghosh, whom I met many years ago during one conference, 3-hour conference. And I must tell you that in 2018, it was the first time when I came to India, to Indore, to participate in the conference, in the 3-hour conference. After that, when I today looked at this beautiful book about the conference, I saw that in India now 9 era. So India is growing eras because circular economy is entering into the life of India. So thank you very much for this words about my activity in this sphere, in circular economy sphere. And I must tell you that during my breakfast, every breakfast, I remember about it, about circular economy, about things that if I do something, if somebody produce something, it must be finally must be recycled. And so it's already in the mind, really. And when Professor told us that if you do something, if your enterprises of any size produce something, we must understand that finally it must be waste. And we must understand when we start to do it, how to utilize or maybe what to produce from this waste. I want, thank you. And also during his speech, Mr. Lok Mohijaya told that we will never have another nature. We will never have another environment that we have now. And we will never have new natural resources if we take it. So, nature, environment, live in a circularity. And if we began to speak about the industry, you see now in the middle in this ring, now industry works in a line condition. But on the last ring, on the in the right, you can see that if those who produce waste will understand that it will be very close another enterprise who will take the waste and recycle it and produce it, it will be the less headache for those who produce some things, some goods. So this is the main principle of eco-industrial parks. And we analyzed during our work, we analyzed what is it, eco-industrial parks. Yesterday we visited Eco Park here in Kolkata. We saw the Eco Park, but of course it's nature, it's trees, grass, lake, it's Eco Park. Eco-industrial parks, it's something another. It's also a system, a complex system. Something like this. It's eco-industrial park when their municipal solid waste, municipal liquid waste, industrial waste could be used inside some territory, inside some region, and it's really complex system. That is it, the eco-industrial park. So what are their main principles of eco-industrial parks? It's something like association, like the association of different enterprises who produce, who recycle, who use the goods with the part of secondary resources. And of course, the main idea is exchange of energy. The next idea is to use waters as in a circular system. You see, to take the sewage waters, to treat it, and to use the fresh water for technical conditions, it's also the main idea of eco-industrial parks. And here you see other sharing of services, sharing of transport services, other services which could be inside the eco-industrial park, and these are really great benefits for the enterprises who are joined into the eco-industrial parks. So why I show you this slide? I will show you some slides. It's my history, the history of my experience. It was started, the eco-industrial parks, eco-towns from Japan. And we know it. We were in Japan, and we were in the city of Kitakyushu, and we saw what was the history of eco-industrial parks. It's districts, regions, where all the enterprises, all the producers know what to do with waste, where they could send it to recycle, what they could get from this waste and from the materials with secondary resources. So it was started from Japan. And why Japan? Why Japan started this procedure? You see, it's it was very
dirty place for industry. It's really industrial place, the city of Kitakyushu, and you see it was in 1960s, and it became in 2010 when we came there. We saw this area and this gulf, which was really clean. So it was established a public-private partnership. So eco-industrial parks, it's also public-private partnership. And today I saw that those who were represented here from the ministers, they support the MSME, and they support the idea of circular economy. They support those who start to do it. It's very important. And Japan started in this condition too. Of course, we know that it must be fresh air, it must be fresh water. So without public, without MSME, without government support, it will be nothing. So, and the most important thing, look, it was expenses for measure in Kitakyushu. Who was the main investor? It was public administration. Public administration. Of course, their business made inputs into their creation of eco-industrial park, but the main support on the first step was from the government, and it's very important. So, what is now? What did we see there, like eco-industrial parks? This territory where a lot of different enterprises. Enterprise for recycling bottles, automobile, medical waste, they are located in one territory. And they could exchange the material flows. And on the left side, you could see that there is also practical research area. Because you see the manufacturing, I think, must be supported from the scientists, must be supported from researchers, because it's innovation. It's really innovation. So, of course, as soon as, and about collaboration, the slide, you see many lines, crossing lines. And I will, of course, you will have an opportunity to analyze this presentation, and I will be ready to answer all the questions then. But you see, this is collaboration, mutual collaboration between the enterprises, including medium and small enterprises, which are located in these eco-industrial parks. And it's also very important, because their waste of one enterprise could be the fuel for generating energy in other enterprises. And it's very important principle of eco-industrial park. So, it is the picture of Kitakyushu. And the benefits, I told you about the benefits. It's revenues from waste, lower payments, of course, including for lower payments for like environmental penalties, because those who generate waste must pay, or must take and recycle. And of course, when there is association of enterprises, they could make the circularity among them. And of course, it could be used lower cost for waste storage and sewage treatment in the eco-industrial park. So, and it is the eco-industrial symbiosis. You see, the waste from the city goes to the enterprises, including seven plants, including the enterprises who produce materials, different construction materials, who generate power, and who use their materials with secondary resources in road constructions. These are benefits. You can take and can send you materials to the enterprises who will use it finally, or who will buy from you these materials. It's also benefit, it's also profit for your activity. So one example I showed you before. It's eco-industrial park in Kalundborg, Denmark. Totally, there are about 300 eco-industrial parks in the world. we analyzed the principles, we analyzed the number of companies who are involved into this cooperation, into this industrial symbiosis, and what are the revenues. You see, it's reduction waste in generation and usage of different kinds of products, of waste, and of course, reduction of CO2 emissions. So, and now from that picture, we go to the real situation in our country, in Russia. Of course, the situation is not so good. Totally, it is more than 40 billion tons of different kinds of waste accumulated during the previous years. And about 7.5 billion tons of waste, including industrial and municipal waste. There are only about 70 million tons of municipal solid waste are generated annually in Russia. And of course, that's not good that most of their municipal solid waste are now landfilled. About 85–88% are landfilled. That's a pity. And back to industrial waste, utilized about 30%. So, in this case, Russia in 2021 started the federal project Circular Economy. And here are the aims of this project. And you see that, of course, the targets are very important. To use the secondary resources, to use the the materials with secondary resources, and by 2030 to reduce the landfill up to 50, and to save it on the level only 50%. 50% must be recycled. And we see that step by step this situation is going forward in Russia. So the basic point, the basic object is eco-industrial park. And eco-industrial park does not include landfills. You see, waste disposal site cannot be part of the eco-industrial park. Why? Because these sites, these dams, these landfills must be good equipped and cannot make the bad impact on environment. And in the eco-industrial park, the main are industrial enterprises and so on, and laboratory facilities, processing companies, and engineering center. So, why do we say that, for example, medium and small enterprises could be involved in such processes? Here are the amount of their industrial waste and municipal solid waste which are generated annually in Russia. Generated, you see, annually generated, and it could be used practically 100% of all the waste. But it's necessary to use innovative technologies. It's necessary to have the support from the government, and so on and so forth. And it must be, of course, the legislation, special legislation. And now the actual amount of usage is not so high. But when enterprises again join into eco-industrial parks, they could share the information about their things, what they do, and then they could use it. They could use their waste as secondary resources and materials with secondary resources. So legislation, we did it. We did it by now. The legislation started from the strategy for development of waste recycling industry up to 2030, and it is about the usage of secondary resources in the road construction, because I am the deputy chief of the department of the Road Research Institute in Russia, and that is why I showed you on the one case what documents are adopted by the government to use the secondary resources in road construction. And of course, it's the role of government. And this is the conditions for replacing materials. You see, it's
legislation, it's creating a system, creating infrastructure, monitoring, and so on. So these are the steps. I'm sure that Indian government now is making such steps, and I was really impressed that those who were, and distinguished guests who were here today from the ministries, they showed that they support this direction. So, and of course, as soon as we develop the eco-industrial parks, we as the experts, we have the methodology how to produce, how to create the eco-industrial parks. If I will share with it with Professor Ghosh with this methodology, maybe it will be interesting to understand what is it. So, and some cases, practical cases from the regions which we did, and then there you will see what could be the role of medium and small enterprises there in Russia. So the first case is the case from the Novokuznetsk. Novokuznetsk is the city of a lot of industrial enterprises, and they produce a lot of different waste, industrial waste, and now it's accumulated in the region totally about 200 million tons, more than 200 million tons of different kinds of industrial waste in one region. And we know that the enterprises now, no, not now, but before 2019, it was, sorry that it's in Russian, but I will show it on the next slide. You see the line. So enterprises produce waste, and then everything goes to the landfills. It's on the ring. There are landfills, there are places for industrial waste storage, and so on. So it is the actual situation. What could be and what we started to do? We started to do this circular economy approach in Novokuznetsk region. You see this waste from the sludge, from the places where the sludges are accumulated, could go to industrial waste recyclers, and they produce the materials for road construction, for example. They produce something, construction materials. They take the waste to generate power. So it is the way to reduce the amount of waste and to use it for producing new innovative materials and to generate power. It is on the way. And the MSME in Novokuznetsk, they started this approach, of course, with the support of the government. And yes, I finalized. It's the economic performance indicators of eco-industrial parks in Novokuznetsk, and with the figures you will see that it's really profitable to produce something from the waste. And it's another eco-industrial parks in Tver region. It's about municipal solid waste with the figures, and of course we have a lot of interesting technologies. We'll have a lot of enterprises who really recycle different kinds of waste, and we will be really interested to cooperate with the MSME of your federation about these approaches, how to recycle, with which technologies to recycle, what could be used here in India, or what your technologies could be used there in our country. So, and as for the measures, it's the last slide. As for the measures, the Ministry of Environment, the Ministry of Industry and Trade, the Ministry of Economic Development, Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Construction Development, they did the measures to support their regions and to support their MSME who joins these eco-industrial parks. And it's very important. And you see, there are good measures on the federal and regional levels. And of course, we must say finally that it must be the international cooperation. We have it. Our institute have a very good cooperation with the Central Road Research Institute in India, and we started to work with them about exchanging the information, about technologies, about the usage of metallurgical sludges. Of course, they have other kinds of technologies. I know that they try to use the plastics in the road construction. So, welcome to cooperation. And yesterday we discussed with Mr. President about the cooperation with our Trade Chamber of Commerce. Of course, I'm the specialist in waste management, but we will try to do everything to cooperate maybe in other spheres. And I hope that Trade Chamber of Commerce of Russian Federation will be really happy to cooperate with your federation. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Vladimir. And you have mentioned number of points, but once both the lectures will be completed, then only we will summarize and we will have the question and answer session. So now I request you to please introduce Pankaj.
Mr. Pankaj Kumar Panjia, a BTech from India and MBA from ACE Institute of Kathmandu, engaged with Doku Recyclers Private Limited, Kathmandu, Nepal, looks after the designing and implementation of materials management system. Mr. Panjia has been working as independent waste expert consultant in UNDP, Nepal to design and implement MSW management and working assiduously for devising solutions for the safe recycling and disposal of waste under preventive plastic waste leakage into rivers of Kathmandu Valley. He has a credible achievement in establishing Nepal's first e-waste management center. He is also working as consultant for various waste management projects at various capacities in Nepal and active member in drafting policy framework in e-waste management formed by Nepal Telecom Authority.
Good afternoon, dignitaries and all the participants. So I am Pankaj Panjia from Doku Recyclers, Nepal. So today I'll be going to talking about overcoming challenge to embrace circular economy in MSME, which is our session actually today designed for. So just to give a brief introduction of our company, we are Doku Recyclers. We started as a social enterprise in waste management sector, but slowly in 7 years of time we embrace a lot of verticals which justify sustainable management. Now we ourselves call as a sustainable management company. We work in various domains, not only of the waste management, but also in consultation, circular economy, policy guidelines, and on ground as in waste management as well. Before going to in depth of the subject, I'd like to highlight some facts and numbers that our country represents in terms of MSME. In terms of like size, Nepal is 22 times smaller than India, and in terms of population, we are 50 times smaller than India. And so our Enterprise Act defines MSME as like in 4 categories: micro, small, medium, and there is in between there is also a cottage industry which falls under MSME. So basically the major criteria for defining these are like based on the capital investment, which is like 200,000. It's in NPR, and we can see in dollar USD what it defines us. So like micro is below $18,000 investments comes under the micro enterprise, and then below 1.3 million USD is small, and 4.4 million is medium, and above all those comes as a large scale industry. In terms of the establishment, so in terms of the establishment, we can see the micro enterprise hold almost 95% of our establishment. That's a large number that supports the national economy. So we can see the contribution of micro enterprise and small. In terms of medium and large, it's below 1% of our industry establishment in country. In terms of employment also, like micro industry holds around 58%, as well as small and medium holds around 21 and 4% respectively. So MSME altogether holds around 86% of employment generation alone in the country. Altogether we have like 32 million employment from these industrial sectors or MSME, and in that 84% is from MSME sectors. And in terms of the contribution to the national GDP, we have contribution of around 22% from MSME, and this 22% is especially from micro, small and medium. Large is not counted over here. And like in terms of billion USD, yes, large industry supports more in terms of revenue and all those economic sense, but yeah, the numbers that we support from the micro, small and medium is quite like it's a pivotal point for the Nepalese economy as well. And when we talk about the sectors where the MSMEs are employed, so the trade holds 54%. Actually in Nepal, this wholesaler and retailers is also counted as an MSME. It's also in the micro or medium scale. So it includes like trade, all kinds of trade activities. Hospitality sectors, including like the tourism business and hotels, restaurants, all those accounts for 14%. Manufacturing is just 11%. We are very low in manufacturing sector. Actually, Nepal imports almost 95% of consumable items that we consume. And service sector is 6%, education is 5%. Sorry. Where to go? Yeah, sorry. So that's an other sector is 10%. Okay, then we'll move to circular economy. We are talking with the circular economy, everyone is talking. It's so simple, it looks from this diagram. When we talk about like what is the linear economy versus the circular economy, it's like natural resource we take, make, consume and waste. It's a final dumping ground. And we talk about the circular economy, then if we say that if we have the raw materials, we design, we save, we consume, collection and then recycling. It's circular economy. Seems very simple, right? But does it look so simple? I don't think so. So basically before going to the circular economy, we should understand the sustainability. Why we talk about sustainability and then why circular economy is important. As we, from the numbers that I shown for the Nepal, you see the role of the MSME in economy of the country. So you can imagine the volume, the quantum of the resource that is required by the MSME. So when we talk about the sustainability, it's just one line. Today consumption, not compromising tomorrow. That's how the sustainability defines. And it's not only about the consumptions of the resources, it's account for the lots of activity. Actually, it's a behavior, it's an action of the individual around the globe that we take, that we should incorporate in our culture. How we should consume today without impacting our future generation, without compromising the future resource. And that's how it comes now the circular economy. Circular economy is just a tool for the overall sustainability goals that UN has defined, or overall the human sustainability we are talking about, without keeping our future in the stake. So why circularity is important for the MSME? As we seen like, and 22% of the national GDP of Nepal is from the MSME. I guess similarly for India as well, as I guess last time we got data like 30% of the GDP is from the MSME. That's the quantum of the role of the MSME. Similarly, employment, in terms of the employment, we have 84% from the MSME. So most of the MSME struggle for the resource efficiency due to the dependency in import. I am talking this most of the things in context of Nepal, but I think it is important for this country also. And adopting circular practice can save cost and resource and operations. That's how it is important for the small and medium scale industries. And we can see a small steps towards adopting the circular things, circular practice, and the resource saving in organization can save a lot in future considering a long duration time. And most important factor is like environment sustainability. Everyone is talking about, when we read the news about COP28 in INC3, lots of these kinds of international conventions talking about the environment, where we talk about the temperature, controlling temperature below 1.5 degree by 2030. 1.5 degree Celsius is just a number of theory, but practically it has changed a whole lot of impact in our environment. I have seen in front of my eyes where the mountains which were covered with snow right now are the bare mountains, the bare rocks. And so that's how the environment factor is very much important.
Focus to the work.
Yeah. Thank you. So, and also this job creation and economic growth is very much important for the circularity, and compliance with the regulatory requirements. Maybe there will be strict regulation coming in the future. Yeah. So what are the benefits of circular economy in the MSMEs? Like a greater customer intimacy. This is one of the things now, it's a buzzword, like everyone talking about. If your products are sustainable, then you can get a better customer things. You can deal with your customers. More attractive products, it's again come from the design that you can implement in your products or in your service to embrace the circular economy. And recurrent income sources. Circular economy also supports as in recycling, it keeps you the recurrent income sources. And greater resilience, enterprise will be more equipped for any kind of unforeseen calamities or unforeseen circumstances where you are doing the operations. Reduce production times, and so you have just-in-time kind of technology in your organization for this circular economy, and extensive use of products and components with the local resourcing rather than getting more logistics and things on that. Lower impact on climate and environment, and ultimately the lower cost all of your products and services. So benefits, like what it gives, boosting the economic growth. It can be the individual enterprise economic growth, and collaboratively the country economic growth. It saves money, more durable and more sustainable products you have, promotes resource independence, like you can have your own resources generation from those circular activity. And innovation, definitely enterprise will start innovating with the circular products or the more sustainable products when you try to adopt circular economy in your business. And competitiveness, when you think of export business, then definitely you have to think of your product that is more sustainable and more recyclable fractions. Raw material conservations, and protect the environment. And now we talk about the challenges, why it's more challenging in MSME to adopt. So there is major challenge is financing gap. Like when we tend to adopt any practice of circular economy, then the initial cost, there is a cost required for that. For example, when you think of putting solar energy in your industry, then it requires the initial cost. And there might be the financing gap for this small, because this small industry tends to run in very limited, squeezed resource. That financing gap is one of the challenges. Awareness and education about the importance of circularity, why it is required. Infrastructure constraints, there might be the possibility of infrastructure. Like if you want to implement wastewater treatment for your industry, there might be some technological requirement and which cannot be supported by your infrastructure. Maintaining required cash flow. This is a very situation for every business, for houses, that you tend to use as much as possible from the cash flow that we generate in the industry. And maybe the government incentive and policy are not good enough or not enough to support, to overcome these kinds of gap that is being faced by the circular this industry to adopt circular. Sometimes there are the regulatory and the policy barriers also, which might not be seen by the stakeholders, how the industry's pain points are going for these adaptations. And skill and capacity constraints, that is like FOSMI is doing some good activities for the capacity enhancement. That is something has to be adopted in overall industry sector. So how we can adopt the circular economy? So this is the 5 pillars, what we think, like the resource efficiency. When we talk about the resource efficiency, it's like we have the pre-production waste, we have the post-production waste. Now we simply dump it because we don't want to use it. It takes more time. We think it takes more time to again reuse back into the system. But actually this is not the case. When you start using it, maybe in some time you feel headache or it's a burden of using those pre and pro products and waste. But after some time you feel like this is saving my cost in terms of the resource sourcing, the raw material sourcing that we required for our industry. I will just share one example. Our last previous we talked about the steel efficiency, recycling of steel. I will just share the example of aluminium. Like the ratio of energy saving from the aluminium production from the ore, bauxite, and recycling the aluminium is 95%. I mean the energy that takes to make 1 kg of aluminium from the ore versus the energy that takes making 1 kg again aluminium back from the recycled product, it's a 95%. That's a huge saving. And this is just one example in the materials. Next is the closed loop system. The closed loop system basically when you sell, that's the extended producer responsibility. We take responsibility of what we sell to the customer. There can be how we can close that. There can be the take back systems. There can be an incentive to the consumer that you can bring on and then you can get the reward for your products. And similarly the consumer engagement, it has to be keep going, making consumer more aware why we are adopting circular economy and how it's going to benefit the ultimate consumer. And the good products with the life extended, that will decrease the resource consumption. And definitely the eco design and innovation. Right now we are talking about different like plastic free things. We have biodegradable plastics, or we have the recycled cardboards kind of system for our packaging. So these are all eco design and innovation, and this pushes the MSME to adopt the new innovation, they adopt new design for their products and their packaging. Now, how to promote the circularity now? That's the how case. So we talk about like involve MSME as a key stakeholder for effective, because MSME is at the center. So it has to be taken as a key stakeholder from all government body or any collaborative bodies, something like that, and use the circular economy lens to address the common barriers. That has to be, the MSME should come up that these are the barriers. This is to adopt the circular economy, and that need to be addressed by the stakeholders and identify levers. I mean, where we can have a pivotal point that need to be identified by the stakeholders who can support the MSME. So it's like support required just to overcome this challenge are spreading the awareness about the benefits, why it is required. It has to be mandate or it has to be voluntarily, but these supports are required by the MSMEs. Incentive policy from the government to promote circular economy, maybe tax incentive, maybe infrastructure incentives, or any incentive that can support industries. The financing gap that we're talking about, those are the incentives that supports the industry to adopt the circular economy. And support from the umbrella organizations like the FOSMI, or there might be different chambers of commerce throughout the country. These are the pivotal organizations that will support for industries to adopt that. And the funding organizations, the banking institutions, BFI is what we call, financing institutions, the donor agencies, we need those funds. Just a very brief about how we are adopting the circular Inaugural recyclers. So we work in waste management, source segregation, we have the collection systems, we have material recovery facility. I'll just show a few examples. We are talking about different R's, not only 3R, 4R, 5R, 6R, 7R. So like reuse, refurbish, that is in our culture. We tend to refurbish whatever electronic waste we get from our customers, our clients, and we tend to use and resell back to the market as an extended life. These are the few pictures that we do, I refurbish, and these are the IT assets. So we also impact our sustainable development goals. And we focus in awareness and training, because as we said that education is something that requires by the small children from the kindergarten to entire age of the life. So we are very much focused in that, where we teach about the waste management, segregation of waste. And we also do the upcycling of goods, like these bottles that has been kept on the table. That is very good example. for the resource saving. Rather than there might be some conference we have seen the mineral water bottles, the plastic bottles with the plastic cups and something like that. But it's very good initiative. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Pankaj and Vladimir. So, you know that while Vladimir, he spoke about the industrial park and how the circularity of the resources can be adopted and the traditional practices can be transformed into circular economy. Though it is an industrial park, we could see that the numbers relates to solid waste management only few, around 23%. But the other areas, metallurgical waste, like coal-related waste, even fly ash, those are in total nearly 60 to 62%. So these are the areas where most of us just either neglect or don't look into it. So if you make a total of it, as he was saying, that's a huge improvement, huge benefit which can be accrued from those things. While Pankaj, he was mainly stating the general concept of circular economy, but at the end he talked about their business of electronic waste. They collect it, they process it, and of course in Nepal the processing unit is nearly, near to zero. So in that way you will be astonished that most of the, I visited number of times their processing areas. So most of this type of waste are coming to India, and we are generating business out of all those resources. So with this, I thank both Marev and Pankaj for sharing your valuable ideas, thoughts and implements. So now I will open this house for one or two questions. So if anybody has question, please come forward and make it. Anybody? Raise your hand please if you have any question. Yeah, please. Hey, microphone.
I have a question that worldwide these solar modules are huge are being used in a large quantity, and it's increase of the use, and it is promoted by government and all agencies. But what is the end use of these solar modules? After 20 years or 25 years, it will be abundant. Is there any recycling theory or anything?
For which material?
The solar modules.
Yeah. Marev, if you can. Okay, Pankaj.
Yeah. Thank you for your question, sir. Actually, yes, we have the recycling solution available for the solar panels, but it's not being so much practical adopted yet because the technology is little costlier, and it requires to be optimized so that it can be again adopted into different location, and decentralized recycling setup can be done for the solar panels. Yeah, we have the technology available, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. In fact, I'll give you some information. Solar panel and solar cells, these have cropped up very recently as an electronic waste. And as of today, there is not a much proven technology for recycling or reuse of these panels and cells. But the research is going on, and maybe in very near future we will come out with that, because you know that Government of India also identified solar panel and solar cell as one of the dangerous area of waste quantum, because we are encouraging this solar business, solar cell business and others. So you have rightly pointed out that what is it? Yeah, we have to wait for some time for this thing. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, please. Please.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Jay Taparia. We are manufacturing aluminium roofing sheets made from, pure aluminium, which we are taking from primary producers. So, adding to your point, Pankajji, we would like to collaborate with people, industries in your countries, in Russia as well and in Nepal as well. We are more than capable to do that. My request is to promote this because most people don't know about this. Most people, what they do is they use these sheets that are available locally in the market, which is basically the MOC is nothing but MS. On top of it, what they do is they put a coating of aluminium, zinc and paint that protects us from the rusting and corrosion. Our sheets are already anti-corrosive. It means it cannot catch rust. Alright, it can last you much longer, like at least 5 to 6 times than what your normal sheets can last. Alright, the basic problem is the awareness, which is not happening. We are trying to do the same in India and we are successfully doing it right now, and we are serving pan-India through not only government agencies but also industries pan-India. So I would put forth this in front of the FOSMI and also you, please promote this. And if you need some details, I'll definitely share with you so that we can go ahead and do this.
Excellent.
Thank you.
What's your name, please? You introduce yourself.
I am Jay Taparia from CCS Group. My company is manufacturing aluminum sheets.
Excellent. That's a very good idea, and it will help in making awareness, and also all the 4 persons here, they will be here for throughout the day.
Right.
And we have the panel discussion where different countries also will be joining after the lunch. So
right.
You can put up this and you can take it forward with this team.
Right.
We are sure that something will come out. Thank
you so much.
Thank you. Any other? The last question. The last question. Anybody? All right. It's all right. We are running short of time. So it's better. We have to now thank them. And do you have anything?
Thank you, sir. I will now present the mementos to the speakers. May I request Mr. Obhijit Mukherjee, New Enterprise, to present memento to Mr. Vladimir Mariev. I request Mr. Shondeep Moitro, Council Member FOSMI, to present memento. Mr. Shondeep Moitro, please come to present memento to Mr. Pankaj Panjiar.
Mr. Vladimir Mariev and Pankaj Kumar Panjiar for sharing your valuable thoughts. So we'll now shift to the next session. Okay, so you can take your seat over there. And now I request Mr. Samantha Kumarswana. He is the Chief Executive Officer of National Cleaner Production Center, Nugegoda, Sri Lanka. And Mr. Janaka Virasinghe. He is an expert on circular economy in cement and steel plant in Cambodia. So I request both of you to please take your seat on this dais. So I now request our madam to please introduce Mr. Samantha Kumarswana.
Before we start the session, may I request Mr. Soumitra De to felicitate Mr. Janaka Virasinghe with bouquet of flowers and Uttorio. Mr. Soumitra De. Yes. I request Mr. Nourish Goel to give flowers and mementos, Uttorios to Mr. Samantha Kumarasana.
Thank you.
Let me introduce the speakers. Mr. Warren Singh is an expert in circular economy in cement and steel plant in Cambodia and possesses over 18 years of combined experience in operation management, people management and other important functional areas of management and has in-depth exposure in waste management solutions. Mr. Warren Singh has expertise in waste streams, recycling technologies and environmental regulations and well conversant in designing and implementing systems that maximizes resource efficiency. Mr. Kumarasena is the Chief Executive Officer, National Cleaner Production Center, Inaugural, Sri Lanka. He is a textile engineer and MBA in Technology Management and MSc in Textile Studies from the University of Moratuwa. Mr. Kumarasena has expertise in the areas of material recycling, cleaner production, industrial management system. He is a seasoned CEO, resource person and team leader with specializations in management, auditing and risk assessments. Knowledgeable about a broad range of SAP instruments, resource efficient cleaner production, ISO management system, eco-labeling, energy audits, environmental management and greenhouse gas management, having interactions with several types of industries. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for inviting for me to share our own experience in conducting work in this field. The topic given to me is circular supply chains for waste reduction and sustainability in production and consumption. So then I am given the task to bring the supply chain dimension into this circular economy. In fact, in my discussion, I would like to share our own experience in adopting, in regularizing the supply chain to improve the circular economy practices. First of all, give me 1 minute to introduce my own organization. National Cleaner Production Center was set up by UNIDO in 2002. So then under the Global Cleaner Production Program, it was set up under Ministry of Industries in 2002. After 11 years of funding period, this center was registered as a company by guarantee not-for-profit governed by a board of directors. In fact, this center has stakeholders. So they are Ceylon National Chamber of Industries, CNCI, and National Chamber of Exporters, NCE, two leading chambers in the country. But the board represents the majority from the government organizations such as Ministry of Industries, Ministry of Environment, Sustainable Energy Authority, etc. So that we are very much central between the government and the corporate sector, so that we have been able to conduct quite a lot of work in last 20 years to bring the industry for greening the industries as UNIDO suggests. So then, as you know, there are more than 50 such NCPCs set up globally. So we are one of the founder members of that family. So in our growth, we have become an accredited body for greenhouse gas accreditation. Then I would like to mention a very new and rare accreditation for certifying the persons, sustainability managers, as well as environmental consultants in 6 disciplines. So we are accredited to do that. Then the Eco-Label Sri Lanka, the eco-labeling program in the country is also operated by National Cleaner Production Center. In addition to that, we are one of the leading ESCO, which has conducted, let's say, the highest number of energy audits as well as in the country. And in fact, we have done a lot of audits outside the territory, also covering several countries. Then we are also accredited to conduct energy auditor training and energy manager training as well. So in my content, I would like to first discuss how to assess the environmental burden in supply chain, because before you improve, we should know where we are. So then let me pick up the right tool, life cycle assessment, how to tell how to assess this burden. Next, we can optimize at the product level. So that product level optimization itself can reduce the resource consumption by about 30%. Then circular business models, I am going to skip the topic, but the slides are there to confine to the duration of 20 minutes because it is some common knowledge. Then I would like to introduce a very valuable tool to develop the circular business models. I am sure in India it has not started in that name. So then finally give one slide regarding creating the enabling environment for circular supply chain. So first of all, as an introduction, if I ask a question from you, assume that you have to select a gift wrapper and you want to demonstrate that you are environmental friendly also to your guest. Then what will be your choice as a wrapping material? Is it paper or polythene out of those two? Who are favor of paper? Okay. So who are the people favor of polythene? Okay. In any audience, most of the hands are raised up in favor of paper. Okay. What is the reason behind your choice? Recyclable. Correct. Paper also recyclable. Okay. Yes. Well, if I explain that in this way, now both paper and polythene we dispose in same way to the environment. Then paper decay, polythene does not decay. So that polythene create all sort of problems that we are talking about. Ocean pollution, then the ground pollution, everything. But look at here. Now, the paper and polythene both are products that we are using as commodities. So environmental impacts are there over the supply chain. Right from the starting of the growth of the preparing wood pulp, so the environmental impacts are there. But we have assessed the impacts only in the disposal stage when we are making our decision. Now I would like to invite you to compare the environmental impacts in a paper mill and polythene manufacturing factory. What is more polluting more the environment? Paper mill. So if you compare the manufacturing stage of the two products, then you will be selecting polythene. Okay. So where are we wrong? We are not using life cycle thinking. That's the point. So therefore, when we assess, when we select the products, when we select the raw material, we have to think about the environmental impacts over the life cycle. We may have to understand the environmental impacts, particularly the energy impacts, are very much correlating with the cost of the product as well. Okay. So, bringing that dimension into the consideration, we have the most advanced environmental management tool, life cycle assessment. ISO 14040, 43 standards are there to conduct LCA. In fact, this life cycle assessment helps us to quantify environmental impacts over the life cycle. That will be the basis. So then, when you quantify those, then you know what are the hotspots then in the supply chain. Because otherwise, what can happen is so-called burden shifting. Burden shifting, that is, we have to avoid the burden shifting. That means you will improve in your premises. Maybe as a manufacturer, you try to become environment friendly by selecting a raw material which is emitting less in the manufacturing. But that raw material would have emitted more in its supply chain. So therefore you have to take the entire supply chain into consideration when you are making the decision. For that matter, this life cycle assessment is recognized as the most important tool. In Sri Lanka, so then this LCA, including policy decision making, corporate level decision making, this is a very important tool. In Sri Lanka, in fact now LCA has becoming very popular in last 3 years. As the leading organization in conducting LCAs, we have 2 software tools, and then we have helped quite a lot of industries who are exporting to come out with this life cycle assessment. Let me share some experiences. Now, one of the garment washing plant, they developed a natural dye to replace synthetic dye. But how can they present to the buyer that we are more environmental friendly? So then the right way is do marketing based on science, so that life cycle assessment will be helpful. So that we conducted for them the life cycle assessment. So then they wanted to confine to one impact category, that is the greenhouse gas emissions over the supply chain. So then they had 3 other synthetic dye combinations. As you know, nylon material dyed with acid dye, then cotton dyed with reactive, and polyester dyed with disperse. So then comparatively with the natural dye, the results are like this. So then greenhouse gas emissions over the supply chain has become quite less in case of natural dyes. So with these scientific results, they were able to convince the buyers. In fact, in last year this was conducted a few years back, the very first one for them. Then they had another assessment later for the other products, because it is very useful. This is another study for the bra cups. Another garment industry has, actually they are producing bra. Then for those products also, they went for an improved version of the product with the recycled materials. Then to present to the market, they were using this life cycle assessment. So therefore, this conducting LCA will help us to show that one of the product, what is the product which is more environment friendly. So not only to present to the buyer, but assume now you want to improve your own product, then based on LCA you can do that better. So then we have done it on various products, rubber products, and so many other products also, which has been creating a lot of business benefits to the company. So this is the multi-impact comparison of the same product. Now, as the time is limited, let me come to the next part of it. Now, when you know the environmental impacts over the life cycle with the LCA, how can you improve the product? For that matter, we have standard methodologies which are tested and proven. As we know, if you want to make a product which is having less environmental impacts over the supply chain, at what stage can you make the highest, let's say, influence? The designer can make the highest influence. We know we have design and development before manufacturing. Designer is the one who will select the input material, who will select the specifications of the product. Then those will decide environmental impacts not only in the upstream supply chain, but downstream supply chain, in the manufacturing process as well as in the disposal phase. Because designer can select the materials, select the manufacturing methods, influence the disposal methods with the contents, whether it is recyclable or not, everything depends on that. Then this eco-design, one of the methodologies is designed for environment, the other one is designed for sustainability. Design for sustainability introduced by UNEP in 2005. I was there as the expert review panel member. So then this has been implemented in various countries subsequently. So then in Sri Lanka, this is one of the examples. The company permits me to give the name. This you may have heard Ansel Global, glove manufacturer, who has their main operations in Malaysia but operating in Australia and so many other countries. They have a lot of operations in Sri Lanka as well. Then we as NCPC has developed the capacity. They have done the eco-design. I conducted training for their Malaysia facility as well going there. So then they also do this. So what is happening is, now we can look at various stages of the product. Selection of low impact materials, then reduction of the material usage, optimization of the production techniques, as well as optimization of the distribution system, that also can designer decide. reduction of the impact during use phase, then optimization of the initial lifetime as well as optimization of the end of life in the disposal. Because in all these stages, environmental impacts will be there. Then we have to consider at the design stage, so how can we minimize this one? What are the options we have? So then, through this process, actually the process is guided by the standard methodology. This methodology is available for freely download from the UNEP website. So then we can follow that. So this company subsequently went for use of nylon instead of virgin nylon. So they went for recycled nylon, use of renewable energy in the manufacturing process, effective efficient use of energy and water, that is conducted audit and then minimized them. Likewise, then all these areas were addressed. So therefore, with this proper implementation of eco-design based on life cycle assessment, so then they were able to win the export market better, because they have actually comprehensively considered the environmental impacts and then systematically they have incorporated them into a design. So therefore this tool can be implemented for us to make the most suitable product. In fact, we can include social impacts, economic impacts also into this, because design for sustainability include those two as well. We do that. Actually, then thereby we can make a most improved product systematically. So then, as I said, then let me move to the next tool. Well, now we are talking about circular economy business models. Couple of them are there. Once slides are shared, you can read them. Various models, but I'm not going to talk about that. That's a common knowledge. But I will introduce this very vital tool for developing, let's say, environmental friendly business over the supply chain. So idea is, how can we engage the supply chain and improve the entire business. Then, so that is a circular business model. Then to make a circular business model, eco-innovation methodology can be used. This eco-innovation started in Europe in this millennium. Between 2000 and 2010, a lot of leading companies went for some eco-innovative business models. Having learned from there, UNEP introduced this standard methodology. Then in 2013, they went for the first pilot application. So in 9 countries, 3 of them in Asia, so we implemented in Sri Lanka. So then very successfully. So subsequently, that was implemented in the agri-business sector. Subsequently, we implemented in dairy sector. Then the chemical products supplying to the construction sector. The process is going on. Now, NCPC, we support to implement this eco-innovation in Kenya in the textile sector. Okay, we are supporting them to the UNEP because we have gained quite a lot of experience. Now, here also a lot of knowledge is available. These manuals are available free of charge, you can download. Then some of the success story case studies from Sri Lanka is also there in the UNEP website. I will briefly explain how it works. Now this is one of the company where we implemented eco-innovation. So the traditional business model, now they were making desiccated coconut from the coconut. Coconut states are there, then they source coconut, then they process coconut. Once you split it, coconut water is released as a waste stream. Then they sell the products to the export market through the brokers. Then when we conducted the initial assessment, the business has so many business risks. So then their margins are very low. Not only that, the coconut supply is also not stable. Then coconut water is a problem which is creating environmental problems. Then with the company owner, it's a remember we implemented in the small and medium enterprises with the support of UNEP. Okay. So then, having done this work for 3-4 months, all studies, and we created new business models, then we see whether the company management agreeable with that. Finally, this is the model we came. So then they went for organic coconut as the sourcing. They made some diversification of the products into virgin coconut oil in addition to the DC. Then they started exporting directly to the export market. Not only that, coconut water was selected, the technology was acquired to separate it in a clean way and then take it for making delicious drink. Okay. So then, environmental problems were solved. Actually, company was able to win some new markets. Margins were significantly increased with this new business model. So, this is another company. They were a small and medium scale dairy company. Their main product was yogurt. Okay. So, their traditional business model, we identified the major business risk source again, the lack of milk supply, because they are competing with the multinational companies to sourcing milk. So long distance transportation. So production level also there were issues. Now we changed the business model. In fact, here the major activity was the farmer development. So then close by farmers were given training and development. So milk harvest was able to double. Then they are getting into an agreement, because that's how supply chain relationships are built up in the eco-innovation. Then they have agreement to supply to this company, because this company is providing all supply development. Then close by. So therefore transportation is less. Now farmers are also very happy. Why? The harvest increased. We have video clips that they are crying and explaining their happiness. So then plant level, lot of optimization was done in the energy and other things. Then finally they had very narrow margins, but the margins were increased, as well as they were able to provide the product finally to the customer. We had a lot of health impact improvement and so many other things also within the process. So then customer was able to give a price competitive product, good quality product with other suppliers. So with that I would like to conclude. So some factors to improve these enabling conditions, we know so many factors are there, but some tested and proven factors in Sri Lanka, we have SCP policy developed with the support of EU, so that with that some prioritization is there. Then the other thing is SCP policy tools are required for this. Then in addition to that, this green public procurement is coming up in Sri Lanka now, so which can be supported with the eco-labeling. So those aspects, when those are in place, that will be helping us to improve the supply chain towards circular business models. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Kumar Sena. We have brief introduction also on the circular economy business model with some case studies. That will be really helpful. Now I request Janaka Kumar Singh.
Good afternoon, everyone. So thank you very much, first of all, to Professor. We met 1 year before in 3-hour conference in Cambodia. So that led me to be here on stage today. Thank you. And FOSMI, thank you for arranging this one, because it's timely required. I think globally we need to have this kind of communication platforms to uplift the environmental impact on industries having on earth. Because personally I believe that, because I have been walking through maybe hundreds of factories in Sri Lanka, Thailand, Cambodia, Philippines. So I have been seeing what really happened on the ground, because background is science, my background, but practically I'm a salesperson. So I know how hard it is today here, everybody. I appreciate you gentlemen and ladies, because your day is really valuable. I know how much cost to you spending the day today here. So I would like to carry on my presentation. I'll try to make it as much as attractive to you, because you may be hungry and it's not a good time for listening a lot. So circular economy, that is the topic. I also included into my presentation, but already it is being discussed many and highlighted many. So let me give something different to you to start the presentation and my discussion. I believe everybody like to be in a place like this, for sure, right? For sure. Have you seen this kind of boards in that kind of places? Take nothing, but only the photo. And leave nothing but the footprints. This is in the personal level, if we think of to reduce our impact on a ground. As a person, how we can reduce our impact on earth. What we are talking here today is not as a person, as an entrepreneur, as an industry owner, how we can reduce our impact on our business. But not only that, not only reducing, but I would like to discuss with you today how we can earn something also. Because why we are here today, if you are not getting any money at the end of the month to you and add something not into your revenue, it's not attractive to you. Right? I'm correct. Because we are here to uplift our business and to earn something more after the end of the day today. If you just see here in this one, so in this, what is something a bit complex than what my friend Mr. Pankaj presented as the circular economy, the cycle. But in here you can see the earth and the resources, as well as the consumer, and also the production, as well as recycling, and there are many arrows going here and there. For me, I see all these arrows are opportunity of income, opportunity of a new business. Why I say that? Because in the ground we can see all the industries are, when you are having a production, you need raw materials as well as you have some byproducts or the waste. So in the circular economy, this diagram is talk about how they can be used into other options. So all these arrows are options. So one can be either at one end a waste, but at the other end, at the head of that is a raw material to other industry. So let me take one example. Okay, let's talk about steel. Very narrow, just only that. So you can apply into other regions or other industries, your industries, whatever. As well as, I make it a point that if you are in, say, paper industry or you are in electronic industry today, but just think of this. This may be your next step of the business. You can start a new business. If it is available here, maybe another industry waste. You can see on the road, you can see at the ground, one of it. Say for example, like the steel industry is generating different type of waste. Like slags, sludges, fly ashes, mill scale. So there are many things. But this can be simply done. As well as there are many opportunities that this can be used as raw materials or as an resources in other industry. Or there is an opportunity to make some modification and sell it to another industry. So like we can use it for cement production, we can use it for some road construction, or we can use it as a fertilizer. So not just send it or dump somewhere. If you really look at it, then you will see more opportunity there. So actually in steel industry especially, there are many can be used as a resource or raw material for cement industry. So I'm particularly going to that because cement kiln co-processing is actually my area. I'm personally into that. I mean cement kiln co-processing sales for more than a decade, like 15-16 years I'm working on it in many countries. So why cement kiln co-processing is talking here today is not limited to steel manufacturing. Because this technology is, I know in India, because I have friends in India, when I was under Holcim brand, so Holcim was in here also, I know ACC and everybody, they are doing co-processing in some plants in India also. Our professor is expert on co-processing, by the way. And so why the co-processing is, so if you are in your industry, if you have any kind of a waste that need to be thrown or filled somewhere in the in the landfill, but you can find some opportunity to co-process that waste. So co-processing can be accepted a variety of material, the waste material from industries to end up there, and that ensures zero landfill. So what I'm writing down here is some of the technicalities, but I think you may not much interest on this much of technology, but let me explain. Like cement kiln co-processing has been accepted by European Union, America, environmental associations, whatever. So then, say for example, like if I would say, okay, if a garment factory, if you are disposing your sludge through cement kiln co-processing, so it is accepted as a best environmental practice. And if you go for ISO, if you go for Higg Index, any other compliance or any certification, you will get the 100% of the marks. So that is the beauty of this. That is why I selected this cement kiln co-processing as a new concept of waste management. But when we select for this one, we need to think of kind of a chemistry matters, because if you just see, say I'll take the steel industry as an example. So different type of waste has a different type of chemistry. So when you are going for co-processing, sometimes I have the experience of both things, like industry as well as the cement plant. Someone say, okay, why I need to pay for cement factory? Or sometimes okay, why don't you pay me? It depends on this. Actually, that is also I would see as a business opportunity, because waste cannot be directly feed into the cement factory. So in the middle we have to do some modification, pre-processing something. Means that is also a business opportunity. So if you collect some type of different waste as it is from the factory, and if you go for a business like pre-processing, chemistry changing, other processing, then you can find many cement factories to supply it to. So that's another business model. So this cement kiln co-processing and waste management in the circular economy concept is a different level of thinking you need. So then you will see what marvelous can be done. So for example, in Cambodia, you can see this is the current market of Cambodia, just to see if anyone has not gone to or not exposed to. So they are actually not industrial country, but they have simple textile manufacturing, shoe manufacturing, handbags and these bags manufacturing. Those are the key areas. Now gradually coming up some other manufacturing, but totally targeting for exports. So there are many waste available from these industries, but still goes for dumping. So now only we are introducing the technology of co-processing and the recycling and those things, the circular economic concepts are now gradually coming in. Because the most popular method is waste dumping. It is easy, you can just dump it. But why the circular economy comes in is, industrial revolution came in Europe, and they actually moving ahead of us, right? So then they have gone and passed the experience of the bad experience of waste impacts. So then they have talking about, okay, how to minimize waste, how avoid the waste, what are the alternative options for managing the waste. So that is why even in 1980s, the cement kiln co-processing is innovated in the Europe. So now it's practically coming and overflowing the technologies into our countries. And the opportunity is there, like, so we talk how we can avoid the waste or the minimize waste and then the recovery of it. But actually what is happening as in the Dampa is the unmanaged waste and the landfilling. So co-processing is at that level. So it is in the middle after the recycling of the material. So why we need to talk about this is what is on it for you. Okay, so if you have a proper waste management solutions, the opportunity is you have to market it. What I see in my life in the last 2 decades in the waste market, in the waste portfolio in the world, many countries, is the manufacturer or the waste generator who is doing a better waste management practices are not doing the right marketing. That has been highlighted in the previous presentation also. So what now is having is like, if you are into the proper waste management, you definitely need to market it. How? Through what? Write the proper certification, getting the correct marks, and then you go for the new markets. Then you can go for new products or new business opportunities. So that is there, because now if you go for say Adidas or Nike or any brands of the Europe, now they are talking about this extended producer responsibility, as we already discussed about it, ERP. So then they are not only the product direct manufacturer, that now they are going on to the sub-manufacturer level also. How they manage the environment impact throughout the manufacturing process. So then these circular economic concepts are sometimes it's very easy to adapt, and you have to market it to get some more dollars. If you do it, but if you don't have the right marketing strategy, so that is somewhere you are lacking off. So please think of it. You may be already doing it, but not pitching at the right level. So I'm also available after the session also. We can discuss more about this one, because I can foresee there are many challenges like the know-how about, because the chemistry or the waste, what type of a waste that we have, what is your waste and what it can be the end solution select. It depends on some knowledge you need to study on it, the chemistry of it maybe, or some other industrial knowledge, the technology. And also the people development. I can see now, so for example, like Cambodia, the people doesn't know what it is recycling, what it is co-processing. So we need to develop the people and the technical capacities like pre-processing techniques or the waste modifications or something. But I know in India we can easily manufacture even machines, we can innovate machines. We have the right people for that, but technical. But for the waste, we have to bridge that. And the legal framework now, when I've been sitting in the morning session, I know the government is fully supporting. That's what I felt. So in that case, you can do the groundwork and propose where that needs to be done, because sometimes the co-processing is not acceptable in some countries. Co-processing is not getting the right recognition by the current law and the regulation. So the way that you are processing the waste or handling the waste or giving the solution, if it is not recognizable, so it is the time to, we have to have the discussion with the lawmakers. So that is up to the next level. And thank you very much for your patience and listen to me. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks Janaka and Samantha. So in fact, these two were very informative lectures. One where we could see that what is the business model with the circular economy initiative. And there are a number of case studies where you can see, we have seen it, and there are many other where you will see that the benefit are there, both tangible and intangible, if you implement circular economy. The other area where Janaka was explaining, it is close to my heart, and for last 10 years I have been doing my research on this co-processing with several cement plants. You won't believe that today co-processing of waste in the 64 cement plants are carried out in India today. And we from the government of India is trying so that each of the cement plant takes some responsibility of co-processing. And in 2018, I was also the expert committee member in Mahua, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. We made a standardization of this RDF quality. It can produce 2,500, 3,500 and 4,000 calorific value, kilocalorie per kg. And you know that today, some of the owners of this RDF, they are asking the cement plant to pay for the RDF equivalent to the coal price. 10 years back, they were requesting cement plant, please, you take this, I'll pay something to you. So this is the reverse thing. And you don't know that the waste which you are generating in your factory and your house, those were gone to the cement plant, and the cement which was used for construction of your house, maybe the part of the waste which you generated has been used for that cement which was used for the construction of your building. So there are a lot of good stories, there are a lot of case studies and successful stories. So I repeat again, kindly think of it. Circular economy implementation is the way of life for MSME, because MSMEs are the backbone of the Indian industrial sector. You have seen in Nepal, 95% of the industries are MSME. Of course, in our place it is around 70-75%, but now the number of MSMEs are quite big in number, it is increasing. So you are the backbone of the industrial sectors in India, so you must do this. With this, I request two questions, because now we have to go for the lunch and for the next session. Two questions we will take. If you have any question, please raise your hand. Anybody? Yes, please. Michael.
Hello. So this question is to Janaka. Can you throw some light about how Cambodia municipal waste is managed? Okay. Short answer. Sure. Simply, it's dumping. And I would add on it. Now, currently, many the government attempts as well as the PPP discussions are going on to make RDF on it. Nothing has been grounded yet. Opportunity is there. So, if any one of you are interested, yes, you can raise for that. Plenty of availability is there. Need to be worked with the government, as well as now I'm working with one of the cement, the newest cement factory in the Cambodia. So I'm also personally looking for some RDF supply. So I also need it, as Professor said. Now we are ready to pay. We are not going to ask them to pay. So that is the business opportunity available in Cambodia now.
Thank you. And Samantha, how about Sri Lanka?
Yeah, waste management, in our case now, basically municipal councils, they separate into three categories. Biodegradable ones, so government had the program to promote the composting part. So then, let's say about one third of the municipalities are doing that successfully. Then the other part is recyclable part. In fact, in Sri Lanka, this household level segregation also has been moderately successful. So people do that and hand over separated waste. Then recyclable part. In fact, recyclers are there, registered recyclers, more than 200 are there in the country. So then their details are published by environmental authority so that those can be directed to them. But in between we have the category which is called non-compostable, because those are mixed waste in a way when collected in household level. So for them, the Colombo city waste now is moving to the waste to energy plant. 10 megawatt waste to energy plant is there near to Colombo, so that the municipalities has to go and dump there, then they are making use of it. So then, but outside the Colombo, some of them are taken by here also for co-processing by cement company. But I think about 70% or so are running to the landfill. So landfills are coming up now for the adjacent district to Colombo in Western Province. There's one operating well, but otherwise then, very frankly, so in dump yards they are dumping those things otherwise. So that's what happened.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, one more thing, many people feel proud that in my city we have one big dump yard or two dump yards. But today, from 2016, the government of India told, and the NGT, National Green Tribunal, that there won't be any dump site in India. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of work which are being carried out in Indian different cities to abolish the dump site. But where the waste goes? This waste are segregated at source. I mean, all of us are responsible for segregation of source, waste at source. You must use 2 or 3 bin culture. And this waste, wet part is going for the compost or the biogas plant, generating electricity and putting it into the grid. And the dry waste, we are sending it to the recycling plant, plastic, electronic waste, metals, textile, and many other things. So as a matter of fact, all these wastes are converted into some product, recycled product. In India, huge market for recycled product. So as a matter of fact, only 10 to 15% of the waste is going to the dump yard. So maybe in next few years' time, you cannot be proud saying that we have a big dump yard at Dhapa. We are trying to do this, and every city in India is doing it. And the second thing, we must also think of the co-processing. You know that India, we are now utilizing 32 types of industrial waste in co-processing in the cement plant. So in that way, it is not only the municipal solid waste, different, even some of the hazardous waste. And we fought in 2016, some of us, a group of people, we were able to include the co-processing of waste in the cement plant in our SWM 2016 rules. And now it is permitted in India to put in the co-processing. Thank you. One more question, if it is there. Anybody? Yeah, please.
Well, actually, I'm talking about the water management. What about the water management system?
Look, water management system, if you want to know, then you have to give me 2 full days time.
Sorry.
But you be specific on your question.
I'm asking that.
All right.
In the sense of water management is
For the pollution, that what about the water pollution, that the waste are coming? So what that strategies are going to take place to just get rid out of the water pollutions?
So if I answer, I answer like this. Okay, if you have waste, yes, directly as waste water, the liquid water, wastewater can be disposed through cement kiln co-processing, 100%. As well as if you make a water treatment plant, then you get the sludge. It depends on the legislation. I don't know whether you can directly dispose the wastewater to cement plant, or definitely you should have a wastewater treatment plant at your factory. That depends on the local rules. But whether it is sludge or the liquid, both can be disposed through cement kiln co-processing. And as per my thumb rule, 99.9% of the industrial sludges can be disposed. But before accept to them, they will definitely do a thorough chemical analysis from the beginning of the chemistry input, what are the chemicals comes through and the content. So they will do analysis. Based on the analysis, they will maybe pay you, maybe charge you. It depends on that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. No, one more information. You know that today in India, ZLD, zero liquid discharge. If you take water from any source, then you have to recycle the water which you have taken. And of course, as he was saying, that if you go for treatment of the liquid, then you will be benefited. 25% of the cess will be waived from the government. These two. Second thing, you know that we have a habit of wasting water. Like if you go to any of the tap on the roadside, you will find it is going on. Nobody's payment. So in that way, in your factory, you have to first tap out where are the leakages of water. Stop those. So this is first, reduce the wastage of water. Second, ZLD implementation. I mean, if you go to any of the power plant in our country, you will find that system has already been implemented. Even in Kolkata, if you go to SGS or Bajbaj or Titagar, you will find them. So in your factory also, you try to implement ZLD, zero liquid discharge. And the third is, you try so that wastewater doesn't go out of your factory, you treat it. You know that I visited 2 plants in Germany, the sewage treatment plant. What they are doing, they are treating it and they have a lot of sludge. This sludge is again used in the biogas plant, and they are generating electricity, and also the cakes of agricultural fertilizer. So nothing is wasted today, but our mind must have a sea change, and it must have a paradigm change towards this circularity. Thank you very much. And with this question, yeah, the last one, please.
In order to get rid of water pollution, we can install a food treatment plant. Is it the solution?
You know that this is not very easy thing to say you that this is our only solution. I mean, of course, water treatment is one of the solutions, but unless and otherwise you look into your problem, what is it, then only the solution can be given in specific. But in general, of course, water treatment is one of the solutions for restricting the wastewater. He will say something, please.
Well, in my organization, cleaner production means the preventive approach. We have dedicated energy audit with the energy management division. So our services are for the industries. So that in industries we conduct energy audit. Then we identify how we can prevent the generation of the wastewater. In fact, in Colombo, we have established this fact. Having done this water audit in Colombo offices, in any office in Colombo there are about 10% water leaks, which we can prevent. So then, that is the first approach, that prevention. So for industries, in some industries we were able to identify about 50% leaks. So I have done this in Pakistan in one company, 40%. So those are extreme cases. So therefore we can prevent it. So next actually is at LED, zero liquid discharge. India is mastering that technology. I also visited in Gujarat some plants. Sri Lanka also now gradually some companies are going for that. So therefore it has steps. So it's a tested and proven technology. I think in India after 2010 it has been successfully using. For wastewater treatment, actually treatment is the last option. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So you have to reduce the water footprint, like carbon footprint. Thank you very much. Now I'm handing over it to the madam.
Thank you,
Please.
sir. We would like to present memento for our speakers. And for this, I request Mr. S.K. Kedia, Vice President FOSMI, to present memento to Mr. Janaka Warren Singh. And I request Mr. D.K. Mohta, past President FOSMI, to present memento to Mr. Samantha Kumarasena. May I request President Vishwanath Bhattacharya to present memento to Professor Sadhan Kumar Ghosh for his well-moderated session. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'm very happy with a very positive friend of mine. And without Professor, it was not possible to organize this seminar today. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We have completed our 2 plenary sessions with highly appreciative notes under the chairmanship of Professor Ghosh. May I now request our Secretary, Mr. A.K. Chingutto, for his concluding remarks and vote of thanks.
Good evening, Professor Sadhan Kumar Ghosh, our esteemed speakers, Mr. Vladimir Marev, Mr. Pankaj Kumar Panjiar, Mr. Samantha Kumarasena, Mr. Janaka Vairasinghe, our President of FOSMI, Mr. Vishwanath Bhattacharya, and ladies and gentlemen. The International Conference on MSME concluded with an ardent call to embrace the circular economy. Speakers highlighted MSME's vital role, urging collaborative efforts to reshape business models, reduce waste, and promote sustainability. The resolute commitment resonated as a beacon for a more resilient and eco-conscious economic future. As we wrap up this transformative international conference on MSMEs, embracing the circular economy, it is essential to express our heartfelt gratitude to all contributors who made this event an enlightening success. To our distinguished speakers, whether present in person or virtually, your insights have been the cornerstone of our discussions. Your expertise has not only illuminated the intricacies of MSMEs, but also provided a roadmap for navigating the circular economy. Each speaker's unique perspectives has added depth to our collective understanding. A special acknowledgement is owed to our diligent moderator, Sir Professor Sadhan Kumar Ghosh, whose adept orchestration elevated the conference to new heights. Beyond skillfully steering the discussions, Professor Ghosh played a pivotal role in speakers' arrangement and coordinating with the speakers. Also meticulously designing the conference layout, his commitment to excellence has left an indelible mark on the event. We extend our sincere appreciation to our esteemed President, Mr. Vishwanath Bhattacharya, our Vice Presidents, and our all Council members for their unwavering support and moral guidance. Your leadership has been instrumental in fostering an environmental and collaboration and innovation. A one thanks you extend to all participants, both physically and virtual, for your active engagement and insightful contributions. It is your collective enthusiasm that has made this conference a dynamic platform for knowledge and exchange. Lastly, but certainly not least, our gratitude goes over to the individuals involved in the behind-the-scene efforts, the FOSMI Secretariat, volunteers, and support staff. Your dedication has been the driving force ensuring the seamless execution of this event. As we close the chapter, let us not just view it as an end, but as a new beginning. The insights gained and connections forged here will be undoubtedly rippled through the MSME landscape. Together, let us carry the torch of circular economy principles into the future, fostering sustainable growth. Even in the spirit of collaboration and progress, we thank you all for being a part of this remarkable journey. Until we reconvene, let's continue to embrace innovation and sustainability in the MSMEs. Thank you. Good night.
It was a whole day activity full of knowledge sharing, and it was a great takeaway for all the MSMEs. The beautiful part of the event was the oath taking ceremony, where the members and the participants take an oath to adopt the circular economy in their respective organizations. Program ended with a very successful note, and the deliberation component of the speakers was well crafted by Professor Sadhan Ghosh, Director General Sustainable Development and Circular Economy of ISWMAW, who conducted the session considering the requirements of the MSMEs. The purpose of organizing the conference is to help the MSMEs to participate in the conference and to understand the upcoming concept of circular economy and how the concept can be introduced in their organization for sustainable development. The international speakers who joined the conference, both physically and virtually, shared their valued knowledge in a very simple way, which helped the participants, MSMEs, to understand the concept thoroughly. The various participants and experience shared by the speakers with practical references have made to understand the subject easily. Thus, references of adoption of circular economy in steel and cement plants, an example of reuse of waste in productive activities, found to be very interesting. The panel discussions with the speakers from countries like Brazil, Norway, Japan, Thailand, etc. have an extra flavor to the conference. Professor Ghosh have well moderated the session and were able to extract best speaker from the speakers through interactions. In nutshell, the conference was highly informative and have offered valuable insight into sustainable practices, which definitely create a competitive edge of MSMEs on today's global market. The conference also witnessed that each participant with open mind have taken oath for adoption of circular economy in their respective organizations, which is the silver lining of the conference. One of the principal factors stressed in the conference is the increase in productivity and profitability by adopting circular economy has been very successful protocol among the minds of the participating units in the conference. The conference ended with a lively question and answer session and with a very successful note, and approximately 150 MSMEs have participated in the conference and left with bag full of knowledge inside. Thank you all.